little jingle.
Hi.
My little jingle.
I love your big jingles. Hello.
Welcome to Impulse, the podcast.
My name is Karloz. I'm the Vice President of Impulse Group Miami, and today we are joined by my beautiful, big-breasted co-host,
Jamaal, the President of Impulse Group Miami, and also our founder of Impulse Group, José Ramos.
Hello, how are you guys? My name is Jose,
We're
President
good.
of Impulse. So happy to be here.
We have one question before we start. I'm going to answer the question first. Is how are we impulsing? How are we impulsing today? That means for all of you out there, how are we feeling? What's getting you out of bed? What's driving you? What kind of cravings you having? Me, I'm feeling tittyish. I'm feeling supple. I'm feeling supple. I'm feeling settled into my body. That's my
Plump Impulse.
What about you, Carlos?
I'm feeling relieved. Yeah. It's been a good 2 weeks. I just got back from a big workcation, which is the only way we know how to do it.
Yeah.
So it's great. How are you, Jose?
Yeah, I'm a little tired. I'll be honest. You got here, a couple of days ago, and I haven't slept much. So right now, a bed, a glass of red wine. Oh, that's all I want.
I mean, Daddy Warbucks needs to be taken care of.
I mean, put a boy there too. I wouldn't say no, but sleep and wine, I'm definitely craving.
That's a good impulse.
That's a really good impulse. Well, here at Impulse, our organization, our founder, was created to engage and connect gay and queer men. And so we thought we have
Wait,
a little...
what?
Oh, what?
There's gay men here?
And queerdos, too.
And queerdos.
Queerdos. So we thought we'd have a little fun by putting together a nice little podcast, have some nice conversations surrounding what Impulse is all about. You know, our 4 pillars: social justice, mental health, substance abuse, and sexual health. Of course, we always got to throw a little sex in there, have a little fun.
But mainly, we want to connect with you guys.
Yeah.
Not only here in Miami, but across the globe, because Impulse is in 26
cities.
26 cities. Oh, I always get that
13
right.
countries.
Yes.
Am I
Yes.
right today? Because
Yeah.
I never know. I always have to lean on everybody else.
It's almost like we studied.
Yep, and 5 continents. So you guys are right. I'm happy because sometimes it's a hit or miss with leadership.
Yeah, because the team usually has to correct me.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
But
team
that's what
always
we're a
has
team.
to. Yeah.
You came ready.
But tell us more about Impulse, Jose. How did you come up with the idea to create this?
Yeah, so we're celebrating 15 years actually right now. So
Right here.
Those who are Latin, I call it the quinceañera year, right? We're not longer a little girl, we're a woman. So it started in 2019. It really started around sexual health. So I tell people that when we started Impulse Group, we didn't have the pillars that we have today.
Mm-hmm.
But then, 15 years ago, all we had it was all about HIV and condom use and knowing your status. That's the only tools that we've had. And I just wanted to create something with my friends. It was really a grassroots. I had friends. My best friend got diagnosed with AIDS in Cedars-Sinai. Never seen it in my life. And when he was hospitalized, he wasn't out as a gay man. I had to take care of him for a week, feeding him, and I saw the ulcers of the hair. So for me, it was very dramatic. And most people think that I started Impulse because of my status, and that's incorrect. I was negative for the first 4 or 5 years of Impulse.
Wow.
And my friends survived. But then after that, in the city where I lived at that point in West Hollywood in LA, you had so many resources. And I didn't understand why so many people were becoming infected and nobody was talking about it in such a privileged city. And, as I talked to my friends, I realized many of them were positive, but nobody was talking about it. So we didn't know. And, telling stories and sharing stories changed people. But we were not doing that when it came to HIV. That's how this came about. I tell people I tried to volunteer for organizations. So it's not like my first thought was like, let me start something. I tried different things and it just didn't work. I tried to do testing, was not the best at it. Tried to work for the Gay and Lesbian Center, did not like the politics. And then it was too corporate and I didn't want that. I wanted to just be...
We have this reputation for being... the ones that are like partying with the cause,
Right.
And I really love that. So what you're saying is that in the beginning it wasn't really about the fight for access to medication. It was more to fight the stigma and why people weren't talking about it.
And to just open up the conversation. We were all having sex with each other.
Right.
But we were not talking about just sexual health. So that's how it started. And it was uncomfortable. I mean, like I said, we were having it. We were being intimate, but the moment to talk about it, it was just really awkward.
And I want to thank you for that, because I think because of work like yours helped me. I'm 20 years now, HIV positive. People like me to come out, share my story, and also help do the work that you've initiated, you know, especially for those of us who are middle-aged, I guess. It was a different scene back then, you know.
And then it needs to be part of the conversation.
Every day talk.
It doesn't have to be heavy. It doesn't have to come with the whole live experience. It can just be, let's talk.
Yeah.
And that's what I wanted to do. And surprisingly, I wasn't the only one. Now, we've changed a lot in the last 15 years, and that's what I think has made Impulse stick around, because it was not, this is what we're going to do, and we're never going to change.
We had our training bras then, and now we have our big bras on now. You know, we sitting here
She's
full.
She's a woman.
A full woman, you know, suppled, you know, in our prime.
And you know, you mentioned party with a purpose, and that's, I think that's a really great example, because when I started doing this kind of work, we're not doctors. Right. We're not scientists.
Right.
We're not infectious disease providers. So we don't have the credentials to go and tell people what to do and how to do it, right? But we can connect them to resources. And I always say, look, nothing that we say in Impulse is revolutionary or out of this world. No, we just packaging the information in a way that's digestible by the people in our community and by us. That's
because
it.
we are the community.
We are.
We are the community. We know exactly
and
how
who knows you better than you, right?
Exactly.
Who knows?
We meet people right where they're at, right exactly where they're at, which is usually at a party.
Is that
right?
Is that why you came up with the name Impulse?
So, believe it or not, we struggled for like 6 months to come with it. We had awful names. Impulse, when we
Name
came...
some
Please
of
tell
them.
us.
Please, divulge.
What was the one that... The Cool Girls, the Cool Girls something, and I was like, this is awful.
Like a play off the Mean Girls?
Yeah, like the Cool Girls.
The Cool Girls?
And I was like, that is not going to fly. And I don't remember, but it was just a while to get the name. And then when we were talking about what is the point of Impulse, right? And then back then I told people there's a moment, and I remember for me, right? There's a moment when you are sexually intimate with somebody and you make a decision, like a snap decision.
Yep.
Am I going to use a condom or not? Am I going to ask this person, hey, how's your status? Have you been tested? We make a decision on our sexual health and an impulse really, really quick. And I just wanted to make sure that when we make that decision to put our health at risk or not, that we have the right tools to make the right decision that works for me, right? Because your decision is going to be different.
Yeah.
But do we have the information that we need right when we're about to have that impulse to engage?
And that connects to everything else, all of the other pillars that we have as a part of Impulse. Mental health, substance abuse. Like, before you pop that pill, before you
do
have
you know what's going to do to you, right?
Exactly. What is your... We have a drug chart for those of you out there who don't know.
Yes.
Drug interactivity chart that tells you what you can and cannot, mix together or put in your body, what's deadly, what's okay. We have a lot of great resource and information at Impulse that holds you accountable for when you're having that craving, when you're having that impulse to do whatever it is, whether it's fuck, whether it's, drugs, whether it's party, whether it's whatever it is. And that's where we came up with the intro about impulse. Like, what is your impulse? What are you feeling?
What are you feeling?
What are you feeling?
When we do these events, when we go to like clubs or like, sometimes we go to the beach, the new beach or whatever, we're trying to get them right at that moment. Right before, they do the thing. One of my jokes is, you can totally spread your legs, but don't spread anything else, Or before you fuck around, find out first.
Find out first.
But you know what? Back then, and I still think it happens, sometimes we're afraid of the answer. So we'd rather not ask. Because even back then, in 2009 when I started, I knew better, right? This is not my first time I worked with HIV and AIDS. When I was in high school, and outside of LA County. I used to go with mothers who've lost kids, and we used to teach people back then how to put a condom in a banana. Yeah, I know, I'm aging myself. But I was doing that at 14 and 13 in this little small rural area outside of LA.
That says a lot about your character.
So I was like, so this for me was, I knew, but sometimes I didn't want to ask because I didn't want to know the answer. And that puts us in a risk, right? Mm-hmm. I'd rather know now. And I can still make the decision and still do the same thing. But once you know, you're empowered in a different way.
What is it about us as humans or people that makes us not want to know the risk or the consequences of our actions? What is that? What do you think that is?
So I'll tell you what I think. I guess it's been problematic sometimes. Sometimes we just don't want to have any kind of boundaries on anything. We just want to do what we want to do, and we come, and this is my opinion, we come from trauma of who we are as gay, queer people. And before, you know, it was all about our sex. It was glamorized. All we had, it was sex. And then our sex was stigmatized, and who we were was stigmatized. And we were told, don't do this, don't do that. And then the AIDS epidemic happened, and our sex was so, oh my God, don't do all of that. So I think we're getting to the point where stop telling us what to do or not to do. And I feel like I've seen that in a lot of people, including myself. Leave me alone. And I do think there's some truth to that, but we can still make better choices for ourselves.
For me, it was a little different. For me, it was more about the fear of being not part of the group again.
Ooh,
you know,
that's good.
So it was
being left out.
Yeah, so you know, like it's already being like coming out as gay. You're already like, okay, well, I'm not part of the big group anymore.
Right.
And you're like, okay, I'm separated. And then to like have to go through that like outing.
Right.
And separation again, you know, and it's like, well, now my circle just got super tiny.
Wow.
And I think it was that idea that the circle was really tiny when it's not.
I mean, we're all looking to belong, you know, and I think in the gay queer culture, there's so many, even though we are part of the big community, as we getting more and more accepted, we become more and more disjointed.
Yeah.
And I don't think, sometimes it freaks me out because one thing that I appreciate of the history of AIDS and the queer movement, back then I saw them working and fighting together.
Yeah.
Now is, well, I'm not gay, I'm queer. Oh, I'm this. Oh, I'm that. And then when we need to come out as a force, everybody's like, that's not me.
Everybody's breaking off in the silos.
Yeah.
So what do you, that leads me to my next question. In this day and age right now, with that mindset that's going around, because I know that plays a lot with our mental health pillar, how do you think Impulse, or how do you see us as a larger community trying to come together, or what do we need? Or do we need more Impulse, or do we need more? What do you think we need?
So,
in this day
and that's a good question. Before the pandemic, I was having thoughts of, is Impulse still a need? Right? And the grant that we get, since I've been lucky to see the world and to see what medication, what the money that we get funded could do for treatment and save people around the world, I have to go to sleep thinking, okay, I'm doing the best I can using these funds, right? I was questioning it, but after that, as we come out of it, our way to connect, our need to be part of a group or to belong with a group, big or small, has increased. So I do think right now, when I go around and I look at the teams, look, it starts here. It starts with the two of you, right? You're meeting people outside of all of the noise and just having something to connect. Once you connect here, go out and connect. We don't have to do anything too crazy. People are just wanting a place to meet. All of my best friends are from here. All the people that I love is the people that I met through this space.
Right.
Because the people that come through Impulse who are willing to donate their time to kind of do something for the bigger picture, the bigger community, you already filter 90% of the people.
Wow.
So we're lucky to see, and I'm lucky to see people like you, and I see versions of you guys, even with the outfit, all around the world, and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's just our color change, our culture change, but our need of belonging remains the same.
I find that like really ironic now that you brought that up, because I was talking about how I was afraid that my circle was going to be too small, but then I realized that it's good if it's small because you know everybody. And B, there's many circles within that circle or outside that circle, you know. So like, in a big city, it's really hard to connect and find friends or even like romantic partners, especially in the gay community, because as you said, all we care about is having sex.
And I think that's what Impulse has been so successful. In most cities that I go, that number one reason why people join is because they came to this big city and they're having a hard time making connections with people in the city. These cities are hard. You go, and if it's your first time, you know, especially in the United States, where all the major cities, you
especially
come from
here in Miami.
Yeah, so many people just want to meet and just want to connect. And even if they, you know, they come through Impulse for a couple of years, but then they already got those connections that they needed to get started.
Yeah.
So I do think Impulse serves a lot of people who are new to the city or people who are struggling to meet people in a way that's a little more meaningful, correct?
Yeah, or intentional.
Because we can meet people, we can go to a bar, Grindr, and those are great tools, right? But it can also be very shallow and very lonely.
Yeah.
And it kind of takes away like that whole like stranger danger feeling, you know, like now when I travel or whatever, I'm like, oh, is there an Impulse chapter here? Let me connect with the boys, you know, see what they're up to.
And I see it all the time, and it's cute because sometimes they tell me, like, Jose, who? And sometimes I see a photo, and I'm like, wait, what are you LA members doing with somebody in Thailand? Wasn't even involved, and that's the beauty of it. There's somebody you can talk to in 26 major cities that have the same experience.
In 5 continents. 5 continents. So you can go around the world. Hell, that's a shout out to y'all out there. You know, like, comment, subscribe, and share. And also, we are inviting you in to Impulse at any time.
Connect with one anybody in Antarctica or Arctica, we still have options open.
Yeah, I don't know how much sex is happening over there, but you know,
hey,
people are fucking. They're fucking, and if they're there.
If there's people, it's happening
right now at this moment. There's a lot of people.
Like I say, when there's a gay, there's always a way.
There's a way. What they say on Jurassic Park, life finds a way.
Yeah, gays find a way.
So with that being said, so where do you see us moving in 5 to 10 years, like for the future? Like, what is the future of our global brand?
I do think we're going to go more into just our mental health and our relationship with substance. I think I've been seeing that more and more. And, you know, it started around HIV, but what I've seen now, I personally have lost more people to meth addiction and to overdose than HIV and AIDS by far. And I'm seeing, and what's interesting, I've been seeing duplicate around the world, except everybody's in a different spectrum. But I've seen things are going, I already know what's coming. Like London, for example. London is our worst city when it comes to overdoses and meth
and chemsex.
We started a team that not because of HIV, but because of that. We were losing too many gay queer men because of that. And what I saw that now, I'm starting to see in San Francisco. I'm starting to see in LA. I'm starting to see in Cambodia and India. Some of these places where I'm like, it doesn't happen here. It's happening. Everybody's in the different level of the spectrum, but the history is repeating itself in all of the major cities that I've seen.
Yeah, it's a big problem down here too.
And I see it, and I'm like, Jose, what are you going to do about it? Like, I know what's coming because I've seen it. I've been doing this 16 years, and this is where Impulse comes in, because if everything stays the same, I already know what's going to happen. We need to get there and change it so that it's not the same outcome.
So you're seeing this more as a mental health issue as the root of everything. I mean, we did talk about people being in silos, wanting belonging, and because of the advancement of maybe technology or the ways in which the world works, we see a lot of people just finding isolation and loneliness. And so these things probably are like underlying driving factors.
I do agree. I'm not a psychiatrist or specialist, but
just from our ground,
from what I've seen, it does come from it. I met this young man recently who became HIV positive, and when I asked him, hey, what happened? Oh, he was so cute, and I just felt like, why I couldn't say no.
I have to,
because he was so cute. I'm like, that's a self-esteem issue, right? To say, I'm not going to protect myself because this guy's validating me. It's all mental health. And I see that story over and over again. Oh, who am I to ask? And, so that loneliness. And then what I'm seeing a lot is a lot of the younger demographic, they don't have the tools that maybe we did of interaction with people. Right now, interaction is very social media.
Screens.
So what happens when you really deal with the issue?
Yeah.
You don't have that. You never learn how to discuss it or how to deal with it or how to express it. Or you don't have friends to talk to about it. So then drugs play a way to numb, a way to escape. And then that leads into a bad circle.
Yeah, all other risky behavior.
Because I do think when it comes to sexual health, I mean, we are in a different space now, right? We have U equals U. We have DoxyPep. We just have an injection that just came out for 6 months. You're going to be able to do an injection and will prevent HIV infection, right? PrEP and the HIV
really
one.
Quick, I just want to tell everybody that doesn't know what PrEP, DoxyPep, all of this stuff is. So PrEP stands for pre-exposure. So before you get exposed to an infection, if you take this, it reduces the risk by like 90-something%, right?
Yep.
PEP is post-exposure, so that's DoxyPep. And you have what, 72 hours?
72
hours.
After you think you had like an exposure to something risky, and it'll also have a very high chance of taking care of it.
And the new one that you mentioned a bit is DoxyPep, which all the research showing that when it comes to some of the STIs, chlamydia, gonorrhea, and syphilis, it can decrease your likelihood of infection up to 60%. Some of them are 70, some are 55, but the average 60, 65. So those are tools, right? If you don't like using a condom, that's okay. But what are you doing to protect yourself?
Right.
You have PrEP, and then you have DoxyPep. People who've started taking DoxyPep, and that I can say because I work in the field, we saw a reduction of 60 to 70% of chlamydia, gonorrhea, and syphilis.
That's beautiful.
So if it's not there, you don't pass it to each other, right?
You can still be a hoe. Just be a...
Just to be healthy. Just own your health. Own your health, and get it.
Yeah. When you have that impulse, when you have that desire, just reach for your toolkit.
Because at the end of the day, like that's the main message that we want to get across. Is that we don't want anybody to stop partying or stop having a good time, or just do it in a way that it's not hurting yourself or hurting others.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree.
Oh, you know what? It's now time for our local homo moment. Our local homo moment is a moment where we take a moment to talk about other moments happening
in your local city.
It's in our local city, or in your city, and in our city. So we are in Miami, so we're going to talk about what's happening here in Miami, which is we're losing a lot of queer spaces and a lot of queer representation. Because of different factors, either because of gentrification, which is why we're losing some of our favorite bars like Willie's and Gramps. Shout out. Yeah, shout out to Willie's and Gramps. We will miss you. We'll still see you before you close. And we're also losing the whole fight with the crosswalks.
Yeah.
Is
that something happening in any other state?
It is. It's happening in some of the states around. It's definitely happening. I live in California, so
you're good.
It's good now, but I've heard it's more and more. And it starts in one state, goes to the other state.
Florida's the testing ground for everything. So as soon as they do it here in Florida and they get it passed,
I like to say petri dish.
And South Florida isn't Florida, but
do you guys see that what's happening? Because it's not just here, but you're right. It's in Florida. You guys just do everything. So do you think that's going to bring us together more as a community? Because sometimes I don't see any reaction.
Well, it depends. So, like, for example, in other cities, they've like repainted them, and then they like
in Fort Lauderdale's fighting.
The cities are fighting back. Because it's a state
Delray
mandate.
Beach as well.
Key West is fighting.
Key West is fighting.
Those things, I'm like, what does it matter? It's a street. What are you gonna do? What do you guys think we're doing with the street? It's just,
But how are we gonna turn people gay without the crosswalk?
I don't know. Because as soon as you walk across, it's like rainbow bright.
I think we've taken our gayness for granted.
We have. We have taken a lot of our privileges and.
Do you think that because, like, for example, during the HIV epidemic and stuff like that, because we had to like defend ourselves, that was also why a lot of people got brought together because of that
gelling moment.
Yes, and I just think, and I don't know if what is going to unite us again because I just don't feel either people are too not engaged with it or helpless
They
from
need
it.
to come to an Impulse event. They
Yeah.
just need to come join Impulse. That's what it is. Y'all need to come
Yes.
join Impulse so that you can find out what we're doing, work with us. We have an intention. We have a goal. We have a mission. So, maybe maybe that's what they need. That's what the world needs.
I agree. And I
A
always
little
tell
bit more
people,
impulse.
I'll continue the fight. And if the impulse fight is different, we will be different. But I'm not going to stop fighting.
We just want to live a gay, happy life.
I agree.
Agreed.
Thank you, Jose, for coming
Thank you,
today.
guys.
Thank
Love you
so
both.
much.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Well, guys, this is all for this episode of Impulse. Stay tuned for a lot more hot topics and a lot more things. And also, we're going to start announcing events. We're going to also market some prizes, maybe.
Yes.
Maybe
We
some
love giving it away.
We love giving it away. We've given away Beyonce tickets, Lady Gaga tickets. What's the girl? The pink girl? Nicki Minaj.
I was like, pink.
Nicki Minaj tickets,
You're a
might-
twin.
So y'all stay tuned, like, comment, subscribe, share, and we'll see you next time on.
See you next time. Thank you.